Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So it's been almost a year now since I did my original review of my Uno2Duo double stroller, and I've gotten quite a few questions over the past year of how I'm liking it, and I've gotten quite a few questions of if I'm gonna do an updated review for you guys now that I've been using it as a double stroller for the past 6 months. Initially, when I made the first review, I was only using it as a single stroller with my now 2.5-year-old. So now that I have 6 months of use under my belt using it with 2 children, I wanted to share some of my thoughts and feelings, the good, the bad, the ugly. Well, not ugly, obviously. I think it's adorable. But I want to share some of my thoughts with you of the cons and the pros of the Uno2Duo double stroller with you. So, starting with cons first, because I think, when I think about do you want the good or the bad news first, I always love starting with bad because I love ending on a good note. So I'm going to go over the things about the stroller that I'm not exactly in love with, we'll say. So, 1, my biggest gripe probably with this stroller is the location of the second toddler seat on the bottom. When you look at comparable models, normally that toddler seat is in the front and this seat is in the back up top. The reason being is that it is a little bit of a tight squeeze getting the kid in and out. When she's in, it's great. The kids don't kick each other. There's no issues with space. It's just a matter of getting them in and out. My toddler is able to manage it. She's a very tall 2.5-year-old and she's a-okay getting in and out. It just takes a second. However, I will say one of the pros of that is that she can't escape really quickly if we stop the stroller and she wants to get out. So it's a little bit of a pro. But like I said, I just wish the configuration was a little bit different. Number 2, my second, not even a gripe, honestly. So the question that I've gotten the most over the past year about the stroller is how does it turn? Because they've heard reviews that it doesn't turn as easily once you put a second child in it. To be completely honest, the first couple of months with using it with a baby, an infant, and a toddler, I had no issues with the turning, the radius. I mean, it moves, it's fine. However, as Charlotte got a little bigger, and of course my toddler is putting on weight as she grows as well, I will notice that I can't do the one hand turn as easily anymore. I do have to use 2 hands. So that is one thing I will say. It's not as smooth once you start adding in extra weight. However, it's totally manageable, so it's not necessarily a gripe. The reason that I don't think it's a gripe is because I didn't spend $1,200 plus on this bad boy. I spent a quarter of that on this stroller. So if I was spending $1,200, that thing better spin on a dime with 500 pounds in it. I don't expect that. My expectations are obviously completely different when it comes to that. Okay, so going into pros, I literally only had 2 cons with this thing. I like it. It's a good stroller. I don't hate it. So my pros. Number 1, as I was talking about, the cost. Comparable models, and you know what those brands are, cost $1,200 plus. And that's not including the additional adapters that you have to spend money on to put your car seat in it. You have to spend extra money to put the rollerboard on the back for your toddler who wants to stand and ride. It starts around the $1,000 to $1,200 mark. I'm not in a position, nor would I want to spend that much on a stroller personally. That's just my preference. So this guy retails for around $410. However, Graco is really great about doing sales and having coupons, so I ended up getting this stroller. I did the double stroller configuration because I already have an infant carrier seat from my previous jogging stroller, because the Graco line, if you have the click connect, they all click in, which is great. So I went with the 2 toddler seats versus the toddler and the car seat. So I got this with a coupon and on sale for around $270, $280. So when I talk about those cons previously, I will handle those with the amount of money that I just saved myself. Pro number 2. So you'll see the basket underneath extends an extra 5 feet for either additional storage or in order to accommodate putting in the second seat. This extra storage has come in handy so much because even when I have the second seat in, I have so much space up front where I can put bags and all sorts of goodies. When I don't have the second seat in, I still extend it if I'm going into the grocery store and I just have my infant in here or just my toddler and I use it as my grocery cart. It's just that extra 5 feet that it extends is so amazing. Pro number 3, something that I mentioned in my first pro is the fact that everything is compatible with the Graco. So everything is built in. You have the built-in adapters as long as you have a Graco click connect car seat, which most of them are, I think, for the infants. All of them will work with this. Also, like I said, with those other models that are more expensive, you have to buy special adapters for different stuff, or you have adapters that come out. These adapters flip in and flip out. If you haven't seen my first review that I've done, please go watch that, because I actually go into a more in-depth version of how everything works. I'm not gonna do this in this one. I just wanna give you my updates on the pros and the cons. So everything's built in. Back here, when this seat's not on here, there's a built-in rollerboard that my toddler, even at 2.5 years old, loves to stand on. So she just stands here and holds onto these rails and we ride. So everything's included and it's built in. So you don't have a million different pieces flying around in your back trunk of your car, which I really appreciate because I love organization and I don't like things going willy-nilly all over the place. So pro number 4, with my 6-month-old daughter, Charlotte, the thing that is so amazing about this second toddler seat, it actually converts into a bassinet. You pull 2 things, it pops up and it lays down flat, which is great for her because she doesn't always love staying in the car seat. So I'll just lay her down in this when we're out and she can nap and snooze out in it. So I love the fact that there's not, again, an additional piece that I have to buy or maintain as a bassinet separately where I have to click that in. It's all in one. Like, the convenience of that beyond anything is worth the stroller to me. Pro number 5, which is great because my husband is about a good foot taller than me. This handle extends higher for somebody who is higher than his height. For me, I'm shorter, so I like it a little lower. It works better with my hips and my arm resting position. So that's huge when you have 2 parents that are very, very different heights at the end of the day. All right, guys, so you guys asked for it. There's my updated review. Again, like I said, I do have those 2 cons. Those are really the only things I could think about that frustrate me about it. But like I said, at the end of the day, the frustration is minimized so much by the other things that are pros about it, as well as the cost that you save in not having to spend extra money on some of the more expensive models. So for me, that's enough and I'm happy with it. For you, your tastes and your interests might be a little different. At the end of the day, I really hope this review helped you guys out who are considering purchasing the double stroller for the Uno2Duo Graco model. I really do love it. I'm still very happy with my purchase. Just like with anything, you're always gonna have things that you don't like about something. But again, it's totally minimized at the end of the day. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button down there. I will be making much more content related like this with mom life, as well as I do health and fitness, as I'm still on my postpartum weight loss journey, as we all generally are. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.